Welcome back. Now formally known as African Liberation Day, an annual commemoration of the foundation of the Organization of African Unity on the 25th of May, 1963, African Day is celebrated in various countries on the African continent, as well as around the world. Now, this year's celebration of Africa Day provides another opportunity to assess how far continental integration has progressed.
Integration would mean a truly united Africa, either a federalist United States of Africa or the African Union exercising binding powers over member states. At present, the AU merely serves as a platform for coordinating the interactions of its 55 member states. Although some progress has been made, more needs to be done to achieve the goal of integration. Now, looking at Africa's continental integration, we have joining us from South Africa, former Deputy Public Prosecutor and Head of the School of Law at the Regency's Business School, Kevin Malunga. Good morning, Mr. Malunga. Thanks for joining us.
Mr. Malunga, can you hear us?
All right. I think we would have to, of course, fix that and reconnect with Kevin Malunga and have this very interesting conversation on Africa Day and what it really means for South Africans and for, of course, for persons across the whole of the continent. A lot of people have spoken about the, United States of Africa in the past, and some of the things that they also mentioned while also talking about Gaddafi and Libya and a couple of those people. Mr. Malunga, can you hear us now?
The sound is a bit low. I don't know.
But we can hear you. We can hear you clearly. Can you hear us now?
It's a bit on the low side.
Okay. All right, Mr. Malunga, let's start off by asking you what Africa Day does mean for South Africans.
Please come again.
What does Africa Day mean for South Africans?
Oh, yes. It is not a public holiday per se. I think what is happening here is that there are many sort of diplomatic celebrations of the day. It is a day that is really celebrated by those who know about it. So you'll find on social media, at embassy events, etc. You do find a lot of that kind of behavior, and I certainly do believe that it's a big mistake that it's not a holiday, but I think there is a lot of conscientizing over the years at state events, at meetings. There's a constant presence, especially even in social media space, etc. People talking about the day, so which that is actually a good thing.
All right, and now
I think the one other thing that we see is it really always depends on the government of the day, So, for example, the Mandela period was characterized by a Pan-African approach. I think the last administration as well. So sometimes you do have that kind of personalized approach to leadership. So you have, for example, the chairperson, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who was from South Africa, who headed the AU at a particular point in time. So I do believe that it is being celebrated, but just not enough.
Okay. I want to bring you in the aspect of the African Union. How would you rate their commitment in achieving a pan-African integration in all levels of its existence?
Yes, I think the AU has done a lot of good talking. There's been there are many policy positions. There are many. There are many declarations, as it were, from the time that it was the Organization of African Unity to this very day. But what I see problems really is walking the talk and taking it to fruition. You know, you have the Agenda 2063, which talks about the Africa we want. But is this really the Africa we want? Do we want an Africa where, you know, the most marginalized of people do not get the basic vaccines, or are marginalized in terms of food security, where people don't even know where their next meal is coming from? Do we want an Africa where women continue to form the brunt of the most marginalized and poor in society? Do we want an Africa which is where people discriminate against each other on the basis of grounds of origin? Do we want that kind of Africa? I would think not. So there is that sense for me that I think one could do much, much better. And I really do believe that the African Union must start just being a secretariat where people just go for US dollar jobs and pensions, and to a place where they can really make a difference.
All right, now let's talk about the AU's blueprint, otherwise known as AU Agenda 2063 for faster economic growth. It seems to be a little progress being made. Now, this includes Africa Continental Free Trade Area and gender equality in leadership. Do you see a massive success in years to come?
Oh yes, I do have some slight audio problems, but I did hear you speak about the free trade area and those kind of commitments. There are so many flagship programs under the 2063 agenda that are really not coming to full fruition. We want to see, we talk about free trade areas, but we engage in conduct that is anti-competitive, or in terms of what international trade law you would say is conduct that prevents others from getting into that space. So I would certainly believe that there needs to be more cooperation among the blocs, and certainly a breaking down of walls. There needs to be this less of us and them approach. Africa has seen a lot of Afrophobia. When people come from Europe, whatever other parts of the world, they are not treated the same. So many countries are culprits in this regard. I don't want to name names, but it's a very rampant exercise, and I think that is something that we need to see moving. And I think people talk about free trade all the time. What is free? Trade will probably never be free. Let's create an enabling environment for trade to be profitable, for ethical values to pervade that trade. And of course, a giant like Nigeria has a lot to offer. And I think I'm glad I'm speaking to the Nigerian audience. Nigeria is an amazing giant. We should not be having issues of poverty with your oil resources and all the other natural resources that you have in that beautiful country. So that's what I want to see coming from the AU issues. That there is walking of the talk, that there's less talk. And of course, another big challenge that often comes through is when there's a change in leadership. I know you're going to have an election in Nigeria at some point. I don't believe that all the administrations that have come through have all done bad things. So look at the good policies and move with those. And I think this applies to all the countries that we are part of. And I think we will make a change. And of course, we need to move away from sloganeering. Every time Africa Day, we just tick a box and say, oh, we're going to wear nice clothes. Oh no, by the way, back to the first question, people dress up quite nicely on Africa Day in South Africa, especially those who are in the diplomatic space. They wear cultural clothing, etc. I feel bad that I have not done so. I'm waiting for my outfit from Nigeria, though.
We'll send you some. Kevin Malunga, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and happy Africa Day to you. Looking forward to speaking with you again pretty soon.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Kelvin.